Top 10 Richest African Country in 2023. In this video, we are going to look at the 10 African richest countries in 2023, according to data provided by the IMF. Number 10. Tanzania. Tanzania is one of Africa's fastest expanding economies and one of the continent's most desirable investment locations. Tanzania has experienced consistent economic growth for the past 2 decades, ranking among the 10 fastest growing countries in Africa, with an average annual growth rate of 7%. Tanzania achieved a significant milestone in July 2022, moving 5 years sooner than expected from a low-income to a middle-income status. A few of the key things that have helped Tanzania maintain its place as one of the largest economies in Africa in recent years include the nation's political stability, natural resources, and advantageous geographic location. Number 9. Ghana. One of Africa's most developed economies is Ghana. The economy of the West African country is the second largest in West Africa and one of the continent's fastest growing. Ghana produces more than 100 metric tons of gold annually, making it Africa's largest gold producer and the world's second largest cocoa producer after Ivory Coast. Ghana's recent economic boom can be attributed, in part, to a favorable business environment, a dedicated and progressive government, private sector involvement, political stability, open regulations, and a booming private sector. With a total GDP of $73.8 billion, Ghana's GDP is made up of 3/5 of the services sector, 1/5 of agriculture, and 1/4 of industry. Number 8. Ethiopia. Ethiopia's economy has grown at one of the quickest rates in the world over the previous 10 years, averaging nearly 11% annually over the past 14 years. Capital accumulation has been the main driver of the nation's economic expansion, along with investments in public infrastructure and foreign direct investment. The nominal GDP of Ethiopia is roughly $105.3 billion. Ethiopia's economy is heavily reliant on the agricultural, service, financial, manufacturing, transportation, and tourism industries. Ethiopian Airlines, the nation's flag carrier and the largest airline in Africa in terms of passengers carried, destinations served, fleet size, and revenue, is a prime example of the nation's burgeoning transportation industry. Number 7. Kenya. The following country on the list of Africa's richest nations by GDP is an East African nation renowned for its expansive landscapes and wildlife. Kenya's economy has successfully recovered from the pandemic's economic setbacks, expanding by 6% in the first quarter of 2022. According to Kenya's National Bureau of Statistics, this is East and Central Africa's largest economy. Kenya's economy nearly doubled in size from $58.1 billion in 2014 to $114.6 billion in 2022 during the course of 8 years. Agriculture, forestry, mining, manufacturing, energy, tourism, and financial services are among Kenya's leading industries. Number 6. Angola. Angola is a large nation with a lengthy coastline and a central plateau. Despite major advancements in macroeconomic stability and structural reforms, Angola's economy has suffered significantly in recent years from the consequences of decreased oil prices and production levels. However, the nation's economy in southern Africa has started to improve as a result of the recent rise in oil prices. More than 1/3 of Angola's economy and 95% of its exports are based on crude oil sales. The nominal GDP of Angola is $124 billion. Number 5. Morocco. Experts consider Morocco's economy to be a liberal economy governed by the law of supply and demand. Since the 1980s, privatization in certain sectors has had a positive impact on Morocco's economy, assisting in the growth of its economy and infrastructure. The service sector accounts for more than half of Morocco's GDP, with industry, mining, construction, and manufacturing accounting for about 1/4 of the country's GDP, and agriculture accounting for about 14%. The North African country has a GDP of about $133 billion, ranking it 5th in Africa. Number 4. Algeria. Algeria is one of the biggest economies in Africa, with a focus on export, the trading of oil, and natural gas. Since it started extracting its mineral resources in the 1960s, Algeria's economy has mostly depended on hydrocarbons. The sixth largest natural gas exporter in the world is Algeria. Nearly 95% of export earnings and more than 30% of GDP come from oil and gas. With a current GDP of $193.6 billion, Algeria has Africa's fourth largest economy. Number 3. South Africa. The private sector is the foundation of the South African economy. Since the end of World War II, South Africa has built up a strong manufacturing sector and has maintained its position as Africa's most industrialized country. The continent's most mature, diversified, and industrialized economy with a $426 billion GDP. South Africa is the third largest economy in Africa. Number 2. Egypt. Egypt is on course to become the economic powerhouse of Africa because of the recent uptick in economic activity. Since the start of the economic reforms in 2016, when Egypt started to liberalize the capital account and draw in international investors, the country's economy has grown strongly and steadily. The country of North Africa has seen a striking increase in retail market sales and product inflow from significant international corporations, drawing numerous international names. Egypt's GDP is estimated to be $435.6 billion. Number 1. Nigeria. Since Nigeria's re-emergence as the continent's largest economy in 2022, Nigeria has held that position. The seventh most populous country in the world and the most populous country in Africa. Nigeria is a desirable investment location because it is rich in natural resources and has a sizable market for consumer goods. Nigeria's economy is a developing market with a mixed economy of medium income, with growing industries in manufacturing, financial services, communications, technology, and entertainment. The oil sector, which generates more than 90% of Nigeria's total export revenue, and Nigeria economy, which is $510 billion according to the IMF. Nigeria has the highest economy among all African countries.